The European Union was founded on 6 core values that are shared by all of its member states. These values form the basis of Europe's pluralistic society and guide its policies and decision-making. The 6 core values are human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, rule of law, and human rights. They are all enshrined in the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights and apply to everyone in the EU, much like the Bill of Rights applies to everyone in the United States. And like the United States, EU countries are pluralistic, which means they are made up of people of different religions, ethnicities, cultures, social and economic positions, and political views. The EU believes that no one may be discriminated against, and everyone must be treated fairly and equally. Also, everyone in the EU should exercise tolerance and respect others. Countries must be committed to all 6 core EU values before they may become members. Let's look at each core value. The first is human dignity, which the EU believes is sacred. It must be respected, protected, and constitutes the basis of all fundamental rights. When everyone's dignity is respected, a society has the tools it needs to be peaceful and prosperous. The second shared value is freedom. This includes freedom of movement within the EU, but also individual freedoms. EU freedom of movement gives citizens the right to move, live, and work in any EU member state. Individual freedoms include freedom of thought, opinion, religion, assembly, expression, privacy, and information. The third shared value is democracy. The EU is founded on the principle of representative democracy, which means citizens elect government representatives to make decisions on their behalf. As in the United States, every adult EU citizen may stand as a candidate and vote in elections to the European Parliament. But in the EU, citizens may do this in their home countries or the countries in which they are living. Democracy gives citizens the opportunity to make their voices heard and have a say in the government decisions that affect them. The fourth shared value is equality. The EU ensures that all citizens have equal rights before the law regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or any other characteristic. Citizens also have the right to equal access to education, employment, and healthcare. The principle of equality between men and women is a pillar of all European policies. The fifth shared value is the rule of law, which means that societies run on an agreed principles overseen by an independent justice system rather than government whims. In legal matters, the European Court of Justice has the final say, and all EU countries must respect its decisions. EU laws apply equally to all its member states. This means that no one is above the law and that everyone is subject to the same rules. The rule of law ensures that the EU institutions and member states act in accordance with the law. This protects the rights and freedoms of all citizens. The sixth shared value is respect for human rights. The EU not only strives to uphold and protect the human rights of its citizens, but also to promote human rights for all people around the world. In the EU, human rights include the right to be free from discrimination on the basis of sex, racial or ethnic origin, religion or belief, disability, age or sexual orientation. Human rights in the EU also include the protection of personal data and the right to access justice. The United States and the EU share a fundamental commitment to human rights, and both believe that these rights and fundamental freedoms are universal. They apply to all people. The EU's 6 core values ensure that it is a democratic, fair, inclusive union, and one that promotes peace, prosperity, and stability for its member states and countries beyond its borders.